Noise taking you ahead of the curve. Let's begin with our first segment, The Day Tonight, where we're going to take you through the Disha Salian case. As we revisit this case, several twists and turns have now cropped up, with Disha's father saying that she could be gang raped and fingers pointed at Aaditya Thackeray. Taking you through our deep dive segment, where Air India woes continue to deepen. Turbulence for Air India, passenger complaints, operational hurdles. It's the big question now whether the Maharaja is losing its sheen. And finally, on our viral watch, we're looking at a Bengaluru man who spent a whopping 50 crores for a pet dog. One pet that's really fetched this jaw-dropping price. We're going to take you through those images right after the headlines, as always. 13 Naxalites killed in two encounters in Chhattisgarh's Bijapur and Kanker. Home Minister Amit Shah calls it a move towards Naxal Mukt Bharat. Towards a Naxal Mukt Bharat, Punjab police, on the other hand, launching a crackdown on protesting farmers. Fasting farmer leaders have been detained. Protest sites now fully cleared. In fact, Aam Aadmi Party says go protest in Delhi against the centre, not in Punjab. Elon Musk's X sues the central government, claims officials are misusing legal provisions to push arbitrary censorship. Honey trap scandal rocks Karnataka. Government promises a high-level probe into allegations. In fact, the visuals you're seeing there, that's Sidramaiah there, who's been requested for allegations of honey trap to be investigated. Apologies for the images there. And here you have Telangana, where 25 prominent actors and influencers have been booked for promoting betting apps. Aaditya Thackeray rubbishes demand for a probe against him over the death of actor Sushant Singh Rajput's manager Disha Salian, calls it an attempt to malign his image. Another blow to consumers in Karnataka. The state power utility hikes power tariff by 36 paise per unit from 1st of April. Family court grants divorce by mutual consent to cricketer Yuzvendra Chahal and Dhanashri Verma. Gaza continues to burn. Israeli strikes killed 85 people overnight, says Gaza's health ministry. All right, let me cut straight to our top story that's really got us to take note. We're looking at the X platform run by Elon Musk. As much as the camaraderie he has and shares with Prime Minister Modi, he seems to be meaning business when it comes to freedom of speech. Elon Musk's social media platform X, formerly Twitter, has taken the Indian government to court, claiming that they are unlawfully being censored. We know that Musk and Modi have a great friendship going, but this legal fight will continue at the same time in court. Now, if I could get to the heart of this lawsuit, taking you through exactly what this petition that's been filed in the Karnataka High Court against the centre says. Musk has accused the Indian government of misusing content regulation laws, particularly Section 79(3)(b) of the IT Act. So here's a quick breakdown. There are two parts to this act, that's Section 79 and Section 79(3)(b). So Section 79 of the Information Technology Act 2000 provides protection to online platforms like X, YouTube and Facebook. This means that these platforms are not legally responsible for any user-generated content, as long as they follow the rules. But here's the catch. Section 79(3)(b) of the same act says that this protection does not apply to them if at all the platform, one, fails to remove illegal content when the government order comes in or a court order comes in. If they're being notified and the platform fails to pull it down, then they could face legal hurdles. Then they're not protected. And if they don't pull it down within 36 hours, that's the deadline. 36 hours, if they don't pull it down, then the platforms will be legally responsible and liable. Now, question is, when there's already Section 69A in the IT Act, which gives the same powers to the government to block online content for reasons like national security or public order, then why use Section 79(3)(b) instead? Now, to take you through what Section 69A is, it's basically a more formal process. 69A requires a review committee to assess that takedown request. It has to basically have meetings, discuss why that content should be pulled down. Huge discussion should follow. Legal safeguards should be discussed, and that entire meeting should be recorded as well. The platform can also challenge the government on the blocking orders. Basically, this entire process takes a little longer. While 79(3)(b) is faster. The government just has to issue a takedown notice. They don't need any formal review. Platforms must comply within 36 hours. If not, they risk facing any a legal hurdle. So there's no structured review process in 79(3)(b), and that makes it a lot easier and quicker for the government to resort to when they want to pull down content. So X argues through this lawsuit that they have filed in the Karnataka High Court that the government is misusing 79(3)(b) Act as a shortcut to avoid legal scrutiny that's required under 69A. Now, unlike 69A, also 79(3)(b) does not require public disclosure of takedown requests, making it even harder to track down why the content was being asked to remove. Now, X says that Indian government is interpreting this law and giving itself direct powers to order content takedowns. Adding to the controversy here is the Sahyog Portal, a system that was created by the Home Ministry. Basically, it was done by the Indian government. So if you have aggrieved parties, a common man too can apply asking for content to be taken down at the earliest. So this Sahyog Portal asks for platforms like X to have one of their employees working with the Sahyog Portal so this can be communicated. X has flatly refused to join that platform itself, saying that this is another way of censorship. It's a tool that the government is using to pressurize the platforms to comply without any legal review. Now remember, this lawsuit is bigger than just one company here. It's a test of online freedom in India. If at all X wins here, it could set precedent for how government regulates social media henceforth. If X loses, the Indian government's control over digital discourse only gets stronger. All right, shifting our focus here to Sushant Singh Rajput's celebrity manager, Disha Salian, who died years ago, just days before Sushant Singh Rajput had died. Her case is now resurfaced. When reports of Sushant Singh Rajput's death had surfaced, this girl that you see on our screens, Disha Salian, her name was doing the rounds. She was his celebrity manager, and she died, they claim, because it was an accident that she fell off a high-rise building in Mumbai. Now, many had speculated a lot of connections between Sushant's case and her case, but these are all unverified rumors that flooded social media. In fact, at that point, rumors alleged that Shiv Sena UBT leader Aaditya Thackeray and his friends were somehow involved. There was never any evidence that backed these claims, but ultimately this was what was claimed by unverified quarters. Now we see 4 years later, Disha Salian's family has moved the Bombay High Court, demanding a fresh probe into her death. Her father, Satish Salian, has sought an FIR against Aaditya Thackeray and a CBI investigation, alleging that his daughter was raped and murdered. This is what her father says, and says, pointing fingers at Aaditya Thackeray and co., that there was a deliberate political cover-up because they were in power at that point. But let's hear it. Disha Salian's father's lawyer speaks.
जब उनका मौत हुआ, मौत मतलब मर्डर, तो उनके मर्डर के समय इस यहाँ पर गवर्नमेंट थी उद्धव ठाकरे की, तो उन्होंने, आरोपी था उनका बेटा आदित्य ठाकरे, तो उन्होंने, उनकी जो पुलिस अधिकारी थे करप्ट, उन्होंने सब केस को कवर अप किया। 2.5 साल तक उनके सरकार में सब वही विषय रहा। 2.5 साल के बाद में शिंदे साहब का गवर्नमेंट आया, फडणवीस साहब होम मिनिस्टर बने, तब इस मामले में हम ये अभी तुरंत मामला नहीं आया है। वो पूरे हमारे वीडियो इंटरव्यू देखकर दिशा सालियान के पिताजी को समझ में आया कि मुझे बेवकूफ बनाया गया, मुझे गुमराह किया गया, मुझे झूठ बोला गया, मुझे दबाव में रखा गया। ये जो बता रहे ये बात सही है और इसके सपोर्ट में मेरे पास में एविडेंसेस है। फिर वो हमारे पास आए।
Now, Disha Salian's family's plea raises fresh questions about the circumstances surrounding Disha Salian's death. She died on June 8th, 2020, after falling from the 14th floor of a high-rise apartment in Malad, Mumbai. While the case was initially closed as accident, this fresh plea raises a lot of questions. The plea alleges that Mumbai police tried to hastily rule her death as accident, disregarding the forensic evidence that was and the eyewitness accounts on this. Meanwhile, Shiv Sena UBT leader Aaditya Thackeray has reacted to it, saying that there were many attempts made in the last 5 years to defame him. This is just another one.
देश की लोकतंत्र को खत्म करना चाहते हैं, उसके खिलाफ लड़ रहे हैं और इसी में मेरी बदनामी की कोशिश पिछले 5 सालों से हो रही है, चलती आई है। अब अगर कोई आज बात कोर्ट में तो कोर्ट पे जवाब देंगे। देखिए, मैं तो लड़ते आया हूँ और अभी भी आप ही के लोगों में हूँ, लोगों के काम में वो लेके जा रहा हूँ। बात यही है कि बदनामी की कोशिश चलती रहेगी, मेरी लड़ाई इस देश के लिए चलती रहेगी।
तो ऐसे दिशा सैलियन के फादर ने जो कोर्ट में याचिका दाखिल की है, उस याचिका में उन्होंने क्या बयान किया है उसके बारे में मैं जानकारी ले रहा हूं। उसकी कॉपी मैंने मंगवाई है और उसी प्रकार ये जो प्रकरण जो चालू हुआ है, राजकीय षड्यंत्र का एक भाग मुझे दिखता है।
Now the controversy has reached Maharashtra Assembly, where MLAs from ruling BJP-led Mahayuti have raised the issue. Let's listen in to what they have to say.
एफिडेविट दिया है कि दिशा सालियन के ऊपर सामूहिक बलात्कार करके उसका खून हुआ है और उसके अंदर उसने आदित्य ठाकरे, सूरज पंचोली, डुइनो मोरिया का नाम दिशा सालियन के पिताजी ने कह लिया है। तो मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अभी कोर्ट सही डिसीजन लेगा, सो कोर्ट डायरेक्शंस देगा, उसके हिसाब से अभी इंक्वायरी होगी। उसके ऊपर ही हमारे एमएलए अमित चाटम जी ने आज फ्लोर ऑफ द हाउस में वो इशू उठाया, पूरा हिस्ट्री बताया किस तरीके से दिशा सालियन के बारे में जो हुआ है। महाविकास आघाड़ी के गवर्नमेंट के वक्त ये केस हुई थी, किस तरह से कवर अप किया गया, किस तरह से सीसीटीवी फुटेज गायब किए गए, किस तरीके से डॉक्टरों के ऊपर दबाव लाया गया।
Shameless gutter level politics of the Bharatiya Janata Party stands exposed. They again want to distract the people of Maharashtra into an issue which was cleared 5 years ago. If we are taking his statement right now, the father's statement, there's also 5 years ago there was father and the mother every single day on every single news channel begging media channels, media agencies to stop discussing and coming up with conspiracy theories. We all know who they're targeting, and they should be worried that if this is the agenda that they are carrying forward in Maharashtra, people of Maharashtra will oust such people.
All right, what we see in Punjab is a crackdown on farmers' protests from the most unlikely quarters. The AAP government in Punjab has used brute force, deployed bulldozers. Punjab police has demolished all their tents. They have removed barricades and cleared key highways that were blocked by farmer protesters for months, in fact, much over a year. The government argues that farmers should take their protest to Delhi against the centre and not in Punjab. Now we see Shambhu border and Kanori borders fully cleared up. What's left is scattered belongings. What you see there, utensils, LPG cylinders, food supplies, that was aiding that protest for nearly over a year. This marks a dramatic end to that farmers' agitation along those areas. The crackdown follows the detention of farmer leaders Jagdeep Singh Dhalewal and Sarwan Singh Pandher in Mohali. Farmers have condemned this eviction. Minister Harpal Singh Chima defended the move, citing severe economic losses to the state, saying that this kind of blockage in the state has led to big loss of business. Let's hear it.
जब से ये धरनाबाजी हो रही है, जब से ये किसानी जो अपने मांगों को लेके केंद्र सरकार के खिलाफ एक प्रोटेस्ट कर रहे हैं, हम तो किसान भाइयों को बार बार रिक्वेस्ट करते हैं कि आप धरना करो, प्रोटेस्ट करो, पर लेकिन नेशनल हाईवे ना रोको। जो देश की लाइफलाइन है, जिससे पूरे पंजाब का व्यापार पूरे देश से जुड़ा हुआ है, उसको खोल दो, एक रास्ता ही खोल दो। पर लेकिन किसान भाई बिल्कुल उन्होंने हमारी मांग नहीं मानी, क्योंकि आम आदमी पार्टी डे वन से किसान के साथ खड़ी है, किसानों की मांगों के साथ खड़ी है। हमने बहुत सारे काम जो है पंजाब में किसानों की तरफ के लिए किए हैं।
Now, the Congress has slammed both the BJP and Aam Aadmi Party, calling them two parties that are anti-farmers. They say that these parties are working against the country's food providers. For over a year, the Samyukta Kisan Morcha, a non-political outfit, and the Kisan Mazdoor Morcha had camped at the Shambhu and Kanori border points. They demanded for legal MSP guarantees and other agrarian reforms. Of course, the farm laws that they protested against were struck down by the BJP government at that point. Now highways are cleared up. The future of the protest remains uncertain. MSP guarantee has not yet been given. We're going to wait and watch how this movement will pan out in the days to come.
हमने जी हमारी पहले तो जी मीटिंग बारे सारे किसान आगू बुला लिए वहाँ भी सरकार के साथ मीटिंग है वहाँ से हमारे वहीं किसान अरेस्ट कर लिए इन्होंने उसके बाद रात को यहाँ बहुत फोर्स ले आई हमने कहाँ से ले आई उसके लेके हमारे पर हमला बोले इन्होंने धक्का कराया हमारा सारा सामान तोड़ दिया इन्होंने ऐसे ऐसे मार के इन्होंने हमारा ट्रैली तोड़ दिया ट्रैक्टर तोड़ दिया हमारा बहुत धक्का करे हमारे से आप करेंगे अभी यहीं बैठे हम यहाँ से थोड़ी जाएंगे अभी यहीं रहेंगे देखो क्या बनेगा बोलें कि सरकार क्या करती है हमारे साथ.
All right, Tamil Nadu's Tasmac scandal. Let's say it's some relief for the Tamil Nadu government and a clear setback for the Enforcement Directorate's investigation in the case. Madras High Court has now directed the ED not to proceed further after its recent searches at the state-run liquor retailer Tasmac's headquarters in Chennai. In its oral order, the court has asked the central agency to submit copies of the FIR, the ECIR and other materials that was collected that they relied upon to justify their searches. Now, the matter has been posted for further hearing on the 25th of March. Tamil Nadu government has strongly opposed the ED's action. They argue that ED conducted searches without state's consent and that the raids violate federalism. Tasmac has also alleged that ED has harassed its employees. They've seized digital devices from them. They've harassed women. That's what Tasmac officials claim. And many of them searched their premises for hours, basically derailing business and harassing them in a way. Senior counsel Vikram Chaudhary argued that the ED's actions on its part lacked transparency, violated privacy rights. ED, of course, flatly denied these allegations. The agency claims that they found irregularities worth 1,000 crores, including manipulation of tenders, of unaccounted for cash transactions and kickbacks that officials within Tasmac may have taken. All eyes now on 25th of March. Tamil Nadu elections, as we see, is just around the corner, 2026. The Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi, remember, received a big blow and maybe even a booting out this election, all thanks to the liquor policy scandal. Let's hope Tamil Nadu doesn't go that way.
The BJP state president says that 1,000 crores loss has occurred. I don't know who gave that figure to him. Or he is putting the words in the mouth of ED, we don't know. See, when the entire action seems to be planned by the BJP. That is why BJP is agitating more, not other parties. Even the other opposition parties are not agitating. Only BJP because it is their game plan. What they had done in Delhi, they want to do here. They think that by arresting the Delhi Chief Minister, they could win Delhi. But they don't know that here it is not possible. People will not accept BJP. Because BJP is totally against the Tamils.
Now in Telangana, the Hyderabad police has taken action against several actors, including Rana Daggubati, Vijay Deverakonda and whatnot. So the action here was taken with regards to betting apps that these actors and many other social media influencers have promoted. The Miapur police cases against 25 celebrities. Prominent figures include Rana Daggubati, Vijay Deverakonda, Prakash Raj, Lakshmi Manchu, Nidhi Agarwal, actors like Shri Mukhi, Varshini and Shri Hanmant. These are the prominent names. They've been booked under IT Act for allegedly promoting betting apps. Additionally, the Panjagatta police have registered cases. Influencers also like YouTubers Harsha Sai, actress and actor Vishnu Priya. There was also Jabardast Ritu Chaudhary. This is a YouTube name of hers. Then Tasty Teja and some of the others. In fact, they've been booked under the IT Act of 2008 for promoting betting and whatnot. The actions were taken amid growing criticism of social media promotions for these betting apps. Let's take a quick look. What we know here is that Telangana, unlike few states that allows for betting, has strict rules against betting. Telangana RTC chairman VC Sajanar has urged people to unfollow those who promote such apps. He basically has taken this on himself to say don't follow those stars or influencers who are promoting betting apps because it's a habit and it's bad. Several influencers have now started removing those promotional videos of these betting apps from their platforms as well. They don't want to engage in it further before they face legal proceedings. This is what they're doing, we hear. So, like I did mention, some forms of betting in India is legal. While most forms are illegal, some form is illegal. There's no central law as such that bans online betting altogether. But as mentioned, many states, that includes Telangana, Tamil Nadu, Andhra Pradesh, have passed strict laws explicitly prohibiting online gambling and betting. Telangana is one such state. The Telangana Gambling Amendment Act of 2017 bans both offline and online gambling. That makes it illegal for anyone to promote any kind of betting apps through advertisements or anywhere else. Now in Karnataka, there's major controversy that's brewing over honey trapping. Imagine Karnataka ministers raising this issue in the assembly, how grave the situation could be. This is State Minister Satish Salian who's raised this point of honey trapping that he says has affected many ministers and across parties. Even in the past, says the BJP also had faced it and now the Congress also faces it. Without naming anyone, Salian has revealed that at least 2 such attempts have been made that he knows in the recent past. Let's hear it.
वो सही है, ट्रैप तो करने की कोशिश किया है मगर कामयाब नहीं हुआ है। ये पहली बार नहीं है, कर्नाटक में 20 साल से हो रहा है। हर पार्टी का इसका विक्टिम है। बीजेपी, जेडीएस, कांग्रेस, ऑफिशियल्स, सीनियर पॉलिटिशियन सब लोग इसके विक्टिम है। इसके लिए हमने मांग किया, इसका एक कंप्लीट होना चाहिए, उसके आधार पे जांच होना चाहिए।
Now, Salian has further claimed that leaders from multiple parties who have fallen prey to this, so it's a cross-party crisis. He's already discussed the issue with the Chief Minister. He says he's spoken to Home Minister. In fact, Home Minister G. Parmeshwara has responded, stepping in, announcing a high-level probe into honey trapping cases in Karnataka.
I don't know. I come to know only when the department. You see, there may be so many speculations going on, but if I had to say officially, then I had to get information. So I've asked department to give me some information. In this particular case, Hubli rights representatives were given. That was sent to the department, and department sent it to the secretary to place it before the subcommittee. Even if you give me a representation, I will not take a suo motu decision. I will refer it to the cabinet subcommittee, and say cabinet subcommittee, in its wisdom, it will take a decision.
Now, this controversy escalated after BJP MLA V. Sunil made a shocking claim in the assembly, alleging that honey trap factory is operating in the state of Karnataka. He's demanded thorough and fair investigation in this matter. What is honey trapping? Well, it's a deceptive scheme where individuals, often in positions of power, are seduced or blackmailed using intimate exchanges and compromising photographs or videos. It's a well-known espionage and political tool that can destroy reputation and careers, even bring down governments at times. Now, with this matter being raised in the state legislature, implications could be serious. Politicians are being blackmailed. The question is then who's pulling the strings here? Who really benefits from this kind of honey trapping?
आरोप किया हुआ आम आदमी नहीं है, पत्रकार आरोप किया नहीं, आम आदमी आरोप किया नहीं, आरोप किया है वरिष्ठ नेता है, कांग्रेस सरकार का मिनिस्टर है, उसके सीरियसली जांच होना। सीएम को आग्रह करना चाहता हूं, आप जांच करने के लिए एक स्पेशल स्क्वाड गठित करिए, गठित करके जांच करना, कौन इन्वेस्ट कर रहा है, किसके वजह से कर रहा है, पूरा जांच होना, किंग पिन कौन है।
All right, Sidramya is being criticized for using his chopper a little too often, and raking up a bill that could be too expensive. BJP very quick to condemn this. Let me take you through the story. Political storm that's brewing over Siddaramaya's helicopter expenses, a report of which that's come out where numbers are eye-popping. Documents tabled in the Karnataka Assembly reveal that CM's chopper rides with a heavy taxpayer cost. 31 crores in just 2 years that's being spent on that chopper. 12.65 crores in 2023-24 and 19.35 crores in the financial year up to January 15th. That's a big amount. What's raising eyebrows here is that CM even took helicopters to nearby locations like Mysuru, which is just about an hour and a half drive from Bengaluru. And that one trip from Bengaluru to Mysuru cost him 10.8 lakhs. So this doesn't stop here, as part of that report. And remember, these are also allegations that's now being aligned by the BJP. They're meeting with the governor, asking for action to be taken. So they're highlighting this very clearly, how Siddaramaiah is using chartered flights to go to Delhi, to Chennai, and multiple cities where there are several commercial flights that go in by the hour. Charter flight to Delhi alone costs 44 lakhs, while a business class ticket at max could cost you 70,000. The BJP has pounced on this controversy. Leader Rajiv Chandrasekhar accusing the Karnataka government of lavish spending while neglecting farmers' infrastructure. Now, let's take a quick look. There you have it, those Twitter messages, X platform, where BJP has put out their grievances and raising concerns of how this is exorbitant. And while actual farmers are struggling without expenses being given, infrastructure not being improved for them, here is Siddaramaiah, a Hinda leader, a Hinda face, who's enjoying these perks. That's what the BJP has accused him of, but Ramlinga Reddy was quick to fire back at the BJP. Karnataka Minister Ramlinga Reddy, in his defense, he says all CMs of all states use helicopters. It's nothing new. In fact, what he says is, even if there are flights to areas, suppose to Mangaluru or Hubli, it's a time constraint that matters, because chief ministers are very busy and they've got to get there at the earliest. And then Ramlinga Reddy also raised a point, asking Prime Minister Modi's aircraft cost 8,000 crores. Why is there no voice being raised against that? Rajnath Singh, Defence Minister, Home Minister Amit Shah also have special flights. Then why target Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah? All right, in a shocking murder case, just after a day when a merchant navy was murdered, officer was murdered in Meerut, Uttar Pradesh, by his own wife and her lover. Here's a similar case that's now occurred in Rajasthan's Jaipur. And it's been caught on CCTV camera, where you see the couple there riding away with the body of that lady's husband. They've hacked him to death, and they were riding through a market area with the body. The husband was allegedly strangulated, and his body was taken to a forest area on that bike and set on fire. This is a chilling footage that shows the two of them, the lover and the wife, carrying that body, the corpse, to the forest. This crime was quickly uncovered. Both the wife and the lover have been arrested. The DCP South Jaipur said that they found the body in Mohana on March 16th. His 42-year-old wife, this is a lady here, the accused, who's killed her husband, with her lover, this man, Gopala Devi, with Deen Dayal, the name of her lover. Both of them managed to pull this off with such ease, hoping that they wouldn't get caught. But this is a clear, in fact, what we see here, this case itself shows how naive many of the criminals are, assuming that cops will not be able to backtrack. But of course, they have the best of technology here today. Police across the country here are well equipped to find out who the culprit is, and that's exactly what they've done. They've gotten to this couple here and cracked down on this case barely 24 hours.
शाम को दोपहर बाद एक सूचना मिली थी कि एक आधी जली हुई डेड बॉडी मोहाना थाना क्षेत्र में मेन सड़क से थोड़ी दूरी पर ढलान के ऊपर पड़ी हुई है, जिस पर तुरंत मौके पर एसपी मानसरोवर और एसएचओ मोहाना पे पहुंचे। मौके के जो अलामत थे वो कुछ इस तरह से थे कि ऐसा लग रहा था कि किसी ने इस व्यक्ति को, जो मृतक है, उसकी हत्या करके और डेड बॉडी मिटाने के लिहाज से जला करके एक कट्टे में डाल के, और काफी हद तक डेड बॉडी जली हुई थी, उसको वहां डंप किया हुआ था। की रॉड से मृतक के सिर पर वार किया, जिस कारण से वो बेहोश हो गया और संभवतः मौके पर उसकी मृत्यु हो गई।
So is Trump the unexpected peacemaker? In a surprising development, US President Donald Trump and President Volodymyr Zelensky, remember the same two people who had that heated exchange at the Oval Office, have now finally come to a consensus and they've agreed to work together to bring peace in the Russia-Ukraine war. Could Donald Trump really be the man to bring an end to this most volatile war and conflict that's brewing for over 2 years? Let's have a look.
Freed Ukrainian prisoners of war celebrated on Wednesday after Russia and Ukraine each agreed to release 175 captured troops. Moscow said it freed an additional 22 wounded Ukrainians as a goodwill gesture, following a phone call between U.S. President Donald Trump and Russian President Vladimir Putin. But just hours after that call, in which a deal was reached to pause attacks on energy infrastructure, both Russia and Ukraine accused each other of violating the new agreement. Moscow said Ukraine hit an oil depot in southern Russia, while Kyiv said Russia had struck hospitals and homes and knocked out power to some of its railways. This all came on the same day that Trump had a phone call with Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky that Trump described as very good. Before their conversation, Zelensky said Moscow's continued attacks showed its words did not match its actions, and that Russia was not ready for peace. He also said that the United States should be in charge of monitoring any ceasefire.
You're in no position to dictate what we're going to feel.
The hour-long call on Wednesday between Trump and Zelensky was their first conversation since an Oval Office meeting descended into a shouting match in late February.
Intelligence sharing in terms of defense for Ukraine will continue to be shared.
Later, White House spokesperson Caroline Leavitt said Zelensky asked Trump for additional air defense support, and that Trump said he would help locate the equipment in Europe. She also said Trump has moved beyond a previously negotiated U.S.-Ukraine minerals deal.
We've moved beyond just the economic minerals deal framework, and we're looking at a lasting ceasefire. Right now we're at a partial ceasefire, but again, the president is sending his highly skilled, intelligent, and experienced team to Saudi Arabia later this week to continue fighting for peace in this conflict.
Trump has long promised to end Europe's deadliest conflict since World War II, but his outreach to Putin has unnerved European allies, who fear it heralds a fundamental shift after 80 years in which defending Europe from Russian expansionism was the core mission of U.S. foreign policy.
On that note, we're slipping into a short break. We're coming back on the other side with our deep dive segment. We're taking you through the Air India woes as it continues. Many elderly people traveling Air India aren't really happy with the airline. There have been complaints coming by the dozen. In fact, recently Air India was also slapped with a fine for denying an elderly person a wheelchair. But it continues. More on that on the other side.
Is life transactional by any chance?
Everything in the creation affects everything else.
I think the existential question that all of us grapple with, that who am I?
From being somebody to becoming nobody is the first step in enlightenment.
Watch Duologue with Barun Das at these times on News9.
For an India that's chasing its dreams, this is the drive of your dreams. Introducing the all-new Skoda Kailak. Own your dream.
Skoda.
What does it take to be the greatest in the world? There is one thing which truly sets you apart. Your inner strength. Sodium DMT Reebok. True inner strength.
ಅದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನು ಯೋಚಿಸಬೇಡಿ. ಪ್ರತಿ ತಿಂಗಳು ನಾನು ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್ ನಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೂಡಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಆ ದುಡ್ಡಿಂದ ನೀವು ನಿಮ್ ಕನಸನ್ನ ಈಡೇರಿಸಬಹುದು.
ಕಪಿಲ್ ಚಿಟ್ಸ್ ಇಂದ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕನಸುಗಳಿಗೆ ಸಾಕಾರ.
We made history for a reason tonight.
Will it change the shape of American foreign policy? Violence has erupted in Manipur once again. How can we pass judgment, sir, before any inquiry that, they were volunteers or militants, sir?
All right, welcome back. Passenger dissatisfaction is mounting on Air India Airlines. It's been taken over by the Tata Group 3 years ago, but despite this privatization, it would get better. It's only getting worse. Now, denying an old passenger a wheelchair, those were the top allegations against Air India. Clogged toilets, not being punctual at all, and just some of the harrowing audios that have been put out by passengers on many social platforms. And this Air India, more often than not, say they'll get back to rectify it, but it seems like they're a habitual offender. Their substandard experience, their delays, aging aircrafts, that's resulted in several complaints. In fact, that's one of the images that we're showing you here of one lady, a 70-year-old, who was forced to walk at the airport despite her family booking a wheelchair for her. They did not provide a wheelchair. Eventually, she fell and she had to be taken to the hospital immediately. So that kind of repeated offences that's now coming to fore, showing that women there repeatedly, apart from that, many other elderly couples have also faced the same, where they've not managed to get a wheelchair thanks to Air India either forgetting or saying that they don't have enough wheelchairs or whatever. The reasons are clumsy. Now, the latest, you have Indian-Canadian actor Lisa Ray. In her social media post, she slammed Air India for denying a medical waiver for a ticket that she had to cancel as her father was hospitalized. She said that she had to cancel her travel since her 92-year-old father was unwell, but her cancellation fee was not waived off based on doctor's letter. Now, she tweeted saying, "Here you go, Air India. My father is 92, he's unwell, and I have to cancel travel due to his ailing condition. I submitted the doctor's letter as well, but the waiver was denied. How is this possible? Where is the empathy here from an airline that claims to care for its passengers?" Lisa Ray says this. The Tata-owned carrier responded to her first by asking her to share details, and then they said they look into it. We're not too sure if they have and how they're going to do that. Air India is facing mounting criticism from passengers for a series of in-flight problems. Disgruntled flyers have taken to social media to complain about unclean cabins, malfunctioning entertainment systems, and poor quality meals. Those are some of the videos that we're showing you there on many of the complaints that have come in on how Air India is responsible for their luggage being damaged or whatnot. Toilets being clogged. We saw those images that came in earlier that exploded the internet. Tata's took over Air India in October 2021. Since then, their service standards have been in the news for all the wrong